Hi Jay, in this video I'm going to try to walk through some of the changes I'd like to make to this tab and get it as button proof as possible. Okay, so I've got a vpPO in edit item mode. So we're going to make some changes to how the query is, what data is returned in the query. And that's in grids PC item history, which is this grid right here. Okay, so we're going to hide this item number pricing. Um, let's see, PO date is no changes. Item description is no changes. PO number, what I want to do is break out this. Right now we've got the PO number dash job, and I want to have PO number with just the PO number, the numeric number in there. And then we're going to add another column for job that'll put this other part, the 1045 part or whatever the job number is there. Vendor, no changes. Shipping method, no changes. Quantity, no changes. Item price, no changes. Unit, no changes. Item total, no changes. Okay, so also we're going to add a price for grade, and we are going to add that after unit. So the grade is going to go right in here. And I'm sending an email with all this, by the way. Okay, and then trade price, no changes, but after trade price, we're going to add a column for the discount. That will be the discount. Also, this discount needs to be 3 decimal places to the right, not 2. And let's see, then we're going to add a column that is coming in from vpPO items net price, which will be right after discount before last update. We want to format that in currency. Last update, there are no changes. Okay, so when we return that, instead of trying to save the column widths in the registry, all that, return the Dev Express if you can just do all columns width, best fit all columns. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, also we want to add in edit item an export tool for a spreadsheet so that we can export the contents of this grid. Okay, and then we're going to add a button, last 10 buys. We want to put that right in between 365 and all, that will return the last 10 buys for this particular item. Okay, so this may get a little complicated, but it makes sense. So right now we can see that this PO is 6774, and we need to tell the user that this is the item that is actually in the PO. So this price you see is this price right here. That can be real confusing that the users don't understand sometimes. So to make that more visible to the user, we're going to make the font of that row red. Now, if you're doing an add item, there will be no red since it doesn't exist in history. But if you're doing an edit item, the item that you're editing that matches the PO number, we want to turn the entire row red. Okay, okay, we want to add a label. I'm assuming that we can do this. I want to add a small label over here that we can put on panel control 1 here in the far right side. Hopefully we can do that where it hugs this right hand, and it tells the users the contents of this grid. So when I click 30 days, I want that label to say last 30 days. Or if I click that item there, it should say last 35. If I clicked all, it would say all items there. That's going to explain to the user what he's looking at in a little bit more fashion. I know that may seem redundant, but that's what we need to do, I think, to clarify the user. Okay, so let's see. You also got a little minor error here. You're displaying the manufacturer and not the catalog number. You should be displaying the catalog number. This manufacturer is Atlantic Bid. All else of that looks good. I'm happy with that. Looks good. Okay, now up up here, I'm going to try to explain this. It looks like this is coming in good, except for that one little mistake there. We want to make the Atlantic target, this value right here, Atlantic target 135.34. I want to make that blue. And these colors may be a little confusing to them, but they'll get used to them. Also, this number here, this item price, excuse me, not the item price. When we add this column, you're going to add a column over here that's Atlantic target. And I have this written out. So it's going to show Atlantic target here. After discount, there's going to be Atlantic target. We want to turn that column blue so that they can match that blue with this blue. Just trying to idiot proof it as much as possible. Okay, so when we're bringing in a item from the enterprise database, the intent is to bring the item in like we are here now. No changes are necessary except for correcting that one little mistake. And then we're going to add in this tab. I want you to display the other tab. And this tab is estimating. This is estimating database pricing tab that is not shown. It should be visible so that when the user clicks on that, it will display all manufacturers of that item. And we want to bring in also in that grid, and let me pull up an example of that. Bear with me right here. So this is the grid that we're pulling in. Now, the intent, these are the exact columns, and this is how we want it to look, except for that's not the right width. And we want to keep this copy command. So this grid right here, but we want it to display all manufacturers. So you notice this is the 2-inch PVC Schedule 40 item. If I pull the enterprise database over here, so you can see the enterprise, what's actually in here, you can see that there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 manufacturers of that 2-inch 30-degree elbow plane in the database. So what I would expect to see would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows that will come in and go back to here. So when I click on this tab, I'm looking for that grid to show up with the contents just like in the previous version. But I want to show all 5 manufacturers. So this grid would go right up here in that tab and we'll show all 5 manufacturers of that item. That should make sense. So hopefully that explains everything that I'm sending you in the instructions. Those are not massive changes. I have been working on the prepare PO to close item click. I have done some code changes in that subroutine. I'll send you that. You should be able to cut and paste that in, and that should solve that error issues that I'm having with that. That's all I got for you.